If you go to the gym and you follow all the scientific research and guys like Mike Israetel, Milo Wolf, all these type of researchers, smart, jacked scientists, then you will notice that there is a trend of nitpicking, which is noticing small mistakes in your technique and small changes in exercise selection, which will give you improvements. Well, for most people, nitpicking will seem like a waste of time because you're fixing small mistakes to make small gains, which seem to make no difference in the end. Let's take an example of this. Let's take the preacher curls. You can notice the small mistake of leaving 15 degrees in extension when you go down on the eccentric and in the stretch part. You tell someone, come on, go down as low as you can, as low as possible. This change is supposed to put more emphasis on the stretched part, which is the most important part in muscle growth. And this change should bring you a small, but nonetheless, small amount of more gains. So is this useful or not? I think this is very important because you got to think about it and the long term. And in the long term, you want to do what is most useful because when you get more advanced, you can't make any big changes which are gonna make a big difference. Like, oh wow, dude, your biceps are so huge, but if you choose this exercise over this one, it's gonna double you in size. Like, nah, that doesn't happen. The only thing you can do is take steroids, which will make you big amount of gains, but there's a whole lot of different problems, which is why a lot of natties don't take steroids. And other than that, you can't make any big differences which are gonna result in big gains. So the most you can do is make these small nitpicky changes in your training and exercise selection and technique, which are gonna give you small amounts of gains. Also, being nitpicky and perfecting your technique or exercise selection can give you the following things. Firstly, you can reduce your chances of injury because you are performing with better technique, even though it's a small change from what you used to do to what you do now. That is still a change. Secondly, you can reduce your amounts of ego lifting because let's be honest, most guys go into the gym with the mindset of I'm gonna do these and these exercises for this and this muscle group, and I want to lift as heavy as I can, which is very manly. Congratulations. But ultimately, you're going to the gym to take care of your health, grow more muscle, become stronger, but with a set of technique principles. So ego lifting is probably something you want to minimize as much as you can. And thirdly, you can feel the exercise working much better. A personal example. I used to not like cable, what are they called? Shit. A personal example of mine, cable rows. I used to not like them. I wouldn't feel my back at all. I thought it was a useless exercise for me. Then, after some time, after I had learned a lot of things about technique and gym and everything about the gym, I tried the exercise again, getting a really good deep stretch by rolling my shoulder blades and letting my back pretty much stretch as far as I physically could, and that made me like the exercise a lot. By doing the exercise with good technique, I actually felt what I should feel during the exercise. There's only one thing that helped me do it. It wasn't more weight, it wasn't more reps, but that could bring you a change. It was doing the exercise with a different, more correct technique. So what am I trying to say with this video? Being nitpicky, which means noticing the small mistakes in your training and in your technique and everything in the gym as a whole, you will correct these small mistakes and bring yourself small marginal changes for the good. So your exercise selection will become much better. You will feel your muscles much better when you're doing specific exercises. And that will allow you to do the 3 things I mentioned before. That being said, you don't want to fall on the opposite side. You're being so damn nitpicky that your training is already perfect and there's literally nothing you should improve, and you should just repeat what you are doing, but you still are being anxious and just destroying your mindset over trying to do better than you can, and you already are doing this. So stop with the self-criticism when you have worked on your technique for a long time and you have perfected it, and just work out. Do what you are supposed to do with progressive overload and you'll be fine. For context, I decided to do a video about this because I saw a couple clips which said, what's the point of worrying if you do this exercise or this exercise, because ultimately if you're going to the gym, it's all fine. Something along those lines, which is true. However, when you have been going to the gym, like I mentioned in the beginning, you can only make small changes which will bring you small amounts of more results. That's literally it. So be nitpicky. If you see mistakes, no matter how small they are, make sure that you change them and make them into right. As usual, like the vid please, subscribe, comment for the algorithm. See you next time.